Hi everyone, in today's video I'll be showing you how I drew this tulip using Derwent Inktense Pencils. Now I'm going to be using the set of 72 Inktense pencils by Derwent. I've got my water ready to blend the Inktense pencils. I've got my two different sizes of round brushes, as well as my Faber-Castell Graphite Aquarelle HB pencil, which is a water soluble graphite pencil, and my Hahnemuhle Nostalgie sketchbook, which is a new sketchbook I started. I may be pronouncing the name wrong, but it's actually a very nice texture paper. I've got my paper towels as well. The paper is very thick and it's very smooth. It's apparently used for inks as well as for, you can use wet techniques as well. I did apply the water to the Inktense on this, and it didn't buckle at all. So the paper is thick, as I said, so it doesn't buckle when water is added. I don't know if it can be used for watercolor. I haven't tried it as yet, but with inks it doesn't bleed through, because I did do another drawing later behind this tulip drawing, and nothing bled through onto this side. So, and I used the Derwent line makers for that drawing, so nothing, no ink bled through the paper. So that's a good thing that this paper does not bleed through when you use inks. So now what I've done there is I've layered in some lines and strokes with the darker pinks, and then I've shaded in a very light hand with the lighter color pinks. That's just to blend and have the different shades of the color, as well as having the pattern of the petals. Now when I'm blending, I blend only with water once I have enough pencil on the paper. You can see now I'm focusing on the reference photo, and I'm adding in the areas that need to be darker, the shadow areas, as well as keeping that patterns of the tulip, seeing the directions on my reference photo for the patterns on the petals of the tulips. Now I'm going in also the darker areas with a more purplish pink instead of using just the darker pink. That's just to get a really dark color for the shadow areas. I am going to come through and refine that once it is dry. So now I'm going in with once again the darker purple color, and I'm just putting in those lines, and then putting in with the darker pink as well, lines, and then I'm going to just shade through the petal, but I will keep some of the areas with the lighter color of the paper showing through, so that when I blend with the water as I'm doing now, I will spread some of that color over to the areas that are not colored in, but that obviously will give it a light tint of the pink, but it will not make it very dark, so you will have those whites retained. So I'm now just adding in some of the yellow. You can see I added a bit too much yellow there, so I just added some water and then dabbed it off with a paper towel, and that lightened it up. And now I'm going through with another layer of pencil over the petals, and while that dries, I'm working on the stem. I'm just adding two colors of greens, the lighter green and the darker green. This is obviously the base layer. I'm going to come through and add more layers later on. You can see I'm back on the petal again, and I am adding in those darker lines of the patterns of the petals. Remember, pay close attention to your reference photo for that, as well as for the shadow areas of the petals. We need to define them as well. Now I'm back to the stem, just darkening some of the areas and brightening it as well. And now I'm just going in and adding a little bit of grayish tone to the areas where the petals overlap one another, just those shadow areas. And then now I'm just going in and adding a little bit more darker pinks, just to really define the flower and make it look three-dimensional, and also add those shadows and also retain the highlights or the lighter areas of the flower. Also darkening up the stem of the flower of the tulip, and just adding some darker shadows to the petals of the tulip. So I guess that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to like and share, and don't forget to subscribe. Till the next one, bye.